More drivers are hitting the road as we head into spring, and the national average gas price rose 4 cents since last week. Is this to be expected, and how is OPEC involved? For discussion on this, earlier I spoke with Jay Young, founder and CEO of King Operating and author of The Upside of Oil and Gas Investing. Jay, good to see you. Now, what can we expect at the pump as we head into spring, considering demand for gasoline rises every year?
Well, I think you'll see the same thing, David. You know, as we go into the end of the year, spring, summer, people like to get outside. They like to drive. They like to take vacations. And they obviously like to stretch a little bit and go a little bit further this year than they did last year. So they, instead of driving to, Oklahoma, they want to go to the Grand Canyon or something. So they want to drive more this year, which is going to see a big boost in oil prices and gas prices.
Now, the national average is of $3.39 is 25 cents more than a month ago, but 2 cents less than 1 year ago. What's the culprit for the change in price?
Well, you're seeing OPEC right now that's cutting back their supply of the United States. When you see that, you're seeing a disruption. Now, there's also world wars going on, and at the drop of a hat, it could be 30, 50 cents, even a dollar in some ways if we don't have some good stability with some of these foreign countries. So, but right now, because of the supply and demand, the only reason why prices do go up and down is because of supply and demand. Are we producing enough oil in the United States to supply it? And we normally don't. Right now, we definitely aren't, and we're having a shortage. We need more oil produced in the United States. We're not seeing that, and as we see higher prices going forward, it's because we're not meeting that demand.
Now, speaking of oil production, several OPEC countries have announced an extension of voluntary cuts of 2.2 million barrels per day for the second quarter of this year. What will be the impact of this?
Yeah, definitely going to see prices go up. We're not producing enough in the United States. We need 20 million barrels a day in the United States, and we're only producing 13.5 to 14 million barrels a day. So we have 6 million barrels that we're not producing in the United States that we need.
Give us the rundown on where investors are putting their money, like EV or the oil and gas industry.
Yeah, we're still seeing some come into the oil and gas industry. The Permian Basin, the Bakken, those kind of plays are still going right now. So it's still good. There is some companies like Ring Energy, some of those companies that aren't Wolfcamp players, but produce a lot of oil. And I see that's just a really good increase. The last couple of days, you've seen some of these smaller stocks that aren't, have so much debt that are really making a lot of sense because of they do make sense. They make money, but they're not Wolfcamp and they're not on Wall Street. So people are kind of, they've been staying away from them. But I think there's a lot of great buys out there. This is a $1 billion company a couple of years ago, and all of a sudden they don't go horizontal in the Wolfcamp, so people staying away from them. But they are really good companies with good inventory of drilling prospects that make money every day that people need to look into right now at some of these kind of stocks.
All right, Jay Young, thank you so much for your insight and breaking down the oil and gas industry for us.
Hey, thank you very much, David. And you guys have a great day, and call me back anytime.